That's it. If like a lot of people find themselves stuck in certain positions that they're unhappy with,
Yeah.
you got to look at yourself. Yo, literally take 10, 15 minutes. I'm telling you right now, you can see how you crack yourself down. Like, break it down for yourself. What do you do from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep? What is an average day for you? Are you logged in for 9 hours, 8 hours at work? Okay, after those 8 hours, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How much time are you devoting to sleep? How much time are you devoting to activity? How much time are you devoting to friends, family? Like, you really got to be able to understand yourself. And if you don't understand yourself, then you're never going to know where you're going.
Tevin Haye, welcome to the It's Not That Deep podcast, brother.
What's up?
Thank you so much for coming through to the studio,
Thank you
man.
for having me, bro.
Dude, I'm so excited to have you here, and I know we've been trying to set this up for a while, but it's finally happening. The moment's finally
You
here.
know what? Time and place, you know what I mean? Like, there was a few before. We let them come first, and now I'm here, you know what I mean? We're gonna do it up
100%,
big.
man. 100%. Here, but finally making it happen. So let's tell the people first kind of like how we met, because I met you at this local talks event.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One of these local Ottawa events for entrepreneurs and stuff like that. I heard your story, and going like back a little bit before that, I already knew of the drop, which is your business, and we'll definitely get into all that. But I knew about it. I was like, yo, this is fucking cool, man. Scroll through the gram, I'm like, this is great. This is such a great idea. I wonder why no one's done this yet.
Yeah.
But man, it was great to meet you and then hear your story a little bit, and then now you're here.
That's it, man. Like, I was so happy and grateful for the opportunity to be a part of local talks and, you know, just meet other like-minded individuals who are looking to get into entrepreneurship or are in entrepreneurship and looking to, you know, take that to the next level. And something we were shooting the shit about before we got on the mics, and just really, you know, giving a helping hand to those who need it, in a sense, who don't even know that they need it. You know what I mean? Like, local talks was a great opportunity to have like 5 of us on a panel, and for you, the guests and the audience, to be able to, you know, hear 5 different solutions to a problem that you may be having, you know what I mean, from 100%. All different types of industries and avenues. And for me, like, I own the job, which is footwear cleaning, but my marketing or my branding or the way I conduct business can be applied to your business as well, you know. So really great for that opportunity and being able to, you know, meet like-minded individuals. Maybe you weren't on the panel, but the people in the audience were still great, and very, very happy to. That's the thing, man.
It's a community, and everyone's kind of building up on their own experiences, and we're all kind of bringing each other up. Without getting too deep into all that, let's take it back a little bit and talk about your story. Where did it start, man? Where'd you grow up? Everything. Let's start from the beginning, man.
From the very, very beginning. Yeah, man. So I was born in Ottawa, Ontario. A lot of the time I spent in the East End, around Blair. That's where like my grandparents were.
Right.
That's where like my most memories of me growing up was in that area, in the Pineview area. When I was about like 7 or 8, I had moved over to more of like Central East in the Overbrook area, you know, like that's where I got like a lot of like my street smarts and a lot of like my grit and a lot of like my grind. Yeah, OB, you know what's up. You know what's up. If you listening, you know what's up. So yeah, man, that taught me a lot of my grit and how to be fortunate for everything I had. You know what I mean? I grew up with a lot of kids who didn't have what I had, you know what I mean? Or if I had something, it was how could I take care of it to last a little bit longer, you know what I mean? So I grew up there and grew up like, if anybody knows OB, is like that big park that's there, you know, that community center, Overbrook Community Center. Like, I spent so much time there, man. Like, I grew up playing a lot of soccer. I fell in love with that since I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, you know? So that field across the street, like, quick, grab that ball, run over, you know what I mean? Quick pickup. Didn't matter if the guys were 15, 18, and I was maybe 10. Like, we just played to play, you know what I mean? Like, stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble. That's exactly what I was about to say,
Stay out of
man.
trouble, you know what I mean?
That's what any sport at that age kind of does for you,
especially growing up in a neighborhood like that. Like, you got 2 ways you could go, you know what I mean? So for me to be able to find that as an outlet and do that, and being able to see how far that took me from a very young age to maybe even, I think I was like 18, 19 when I like, not even like hung up my boots, but realized like what I loved about the sport wasn't truly what I really loved about it anymore, you know? So I spent like a lot of time playing footy in Europe for like in FC Nantes, and I've been to Spain and traveled around a little bit, and just realizing what it takes to be a professional athlete, not a professional person, professional athlete.
Okay.
The hours you put in and the expectation from everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be top form all the time. Injury, no injury. Tired, not tired. So, like, that's where I kind of got my grit from. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I used to be outside running till 10 p.m., running. And then when I got to, like, that higher stage, because that's what I liked to do when I was a kid. But then when you get a little bit older, you got friends, you got girls. You got life, you got money, you want to do things, you know what I mean? And being able to
things
put
that in a professional environment can be viewed as a distraction.
Exactly.
It's like taking you away from being, if you want to be the best, you got to
put
eliminate
those
all
hours
this.
in. Yeah, you got to put those hours in. And for like a young kid, like myself, like I think the first time I went to Europe and I was doing that professional thing, I was like 13. What do you know at 13 about wanting to be a professional? You know what I mean? Especially going overseas too, right? So yeah, man, that saved me a lot, but also taught me like work ethic. You know what I mean? Like, you can't teach work ethic. Like, you got to be fully like in understanding that if you want something, you got to work for it. And that's where that came from. You know, I knew that, not like I didn't want to be a pro, was that if I wanted to be a pro, I'm going to put in a lot more work than I'm already doing. And if I understood that, I could apply that to anything else.
Interesting,
which is what like led me here. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same mindset.
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
is.
you got to be able to put in that work. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so funny you mentioned that, bro, because I played football, but not that football. My whole life growing up as a kid, and it taught me all those things that I carry with me to this day.
Yeah, man.
Things like, you know, putting the time in those practices, like working twice as hard then so that the game can just be easy. You
That's
know,
it.
the camaraderie with your teammates and you know, relying on somebody next to you, and then just playing to the best of your ability. All these things sports teaches you. It really does, man, and it forces you.
You know what? I'll forever be grateful for like playing pickup or organized sports, because I really I gained brothers, I gained sisters, I gained a sense of maturity, community, feeling wholesome, what it takes to be competitive, what it takes to have humility, just things along the lines of just really being able to grow as a person. You know, like these are foundations.
Yes.
We're not talking about like, oh, these are things that you could pick up on your way through life. Like, these are foundations, how you like treat other people, how you respect people, how you carry out on your day-to-day activity. Like, it's crazy what sports can do for you, is what I say. You know what I mean? Like, in a blind sense.
It's basically like principles to live by. Yeah. That's kind of how I view it. It's it's like anyone could teach you some tactic. Like a lot of people who are non-athletes who look at like sport from the outside looking in, they're like, well, look at these jocks, or like, look at these guys, like, oh, I bet I could kick a field goal. I bet I could do this rugby thing. I bet I could do that.
You don't know the hours he's putting in.
You don't. You don't.
You don't.
And it's like, yo, maybe someone could teach you how to shoot a 3-point. Like
teach you the
get the ball in the hoop.
Yeah.
But does that mean you could go hoop?
Nah.
Absolutely not, man.
Absolutely not. Like,
So,
you get that shit swatted quick. You know what I mean?
100%, man. So that, no, all that to say, man, like, sport, I think, has a very important imprint on who you become.
Yeah, of course.
So let's talk about then when you knew, though, that, you know, the sport itself, soccer, just wasn't what, you know, you wanted to pursue your whole life professionally.
Yeah, and from there, too, just, like, getting those offers for, like, scholarships and going away, I thought about it, but I wasn't down for it. And I really had an interest in, you know, wanting to be an architect. It's so funny, like, where I'm at now and where I thought I was going to be, like, 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was, like, geared up. I was in architecture school. Like, I was studying architecture. Like, I was living and breathing architecture. Like, yo, till this day, like, I love that stuff.
Really?
You know what I mean? I love design. I do all my own designs, too, for The Drop and a few other brands as well. Like, but I just love that. I love texture. I love colors. It helps just me continuously be creative. And like, that's what I loved about architecture, you know? So if anybody knows anything about architecture, like, you don't really got a life. you don't got to
be all in on
You got to be all in. Like, you're spending like 20 hours a week on projects. You still got like tests. You still got other assignments to work on, and so on and so forth. So realizing like trying to play soccer and do that was never going to be what I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? And
something had to give.
Something had to give, exactly. So I'm like, let's do that, because for me, in my mind, a building can last a lot longer than your career. You know what I mean? One injury, you're done. Or you play all this time, you play 10 years as a professional, you don't really become a household name, you're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're designing and you're working on these buildings that could be up here, 20 years. You drive by it every time, you're like, yeah, I did that building.
Yeah,
I built that
even
building.
like
or
200 years, man.
That's
like,
what I'm saying,
legacy.
bro. Like that's it. It's legacy. It's like
man.
leaving an imprint in your community, or leaving an imprint in a city, leaving an imprint anywhere it may be. You know what I mean?
Man,
so
that's so interesting. I don't know anyone who's actually actively into architecture like that, man.
It's crazy. I'm always looking at places.
That's
always looking at places.
That's so fire, man.
And it just comes down to like overall design too, because I'm always thinking about how am I gonna level up the store.
Yeah.
Like, what tech can I plug in? What artwork can I plug in? What type of design can I not even rip, but inspire me to do something on my own? You know what I mean? Or make it my own in a sense. So I'm always on that. Like, I follow probably more architecture pages than I do people.
That's right,
you know what I mean? So
I love that.
Yeah, man, just really into design and
when I was traveling in Italy, I got to really look at the architecture there and just take a step back and be like, brother, they did it right.
Yeah, bro. They got some next stuff
like
over
they
there,
did
bro.
some crazy stuff. I was in Florence and just looking at that dome, and then I got obsessed. I like how'd they do this? I watched documentaries on it. I went deep. I'm like, this Brunelleschi guy or something like that. He did like the crazy arches and the buttresses, and I was like, yo, this stuff's too much for me, bro.
One thing that you really got to take in is that we're looking at this in our day and age and being like, that was probably like nothing for him to do. Their resources, fam, when I tell you, are slim to none, bro. They had nothing. Like,
they didn't have tools.
They had
bro.
nothing. They had no tools. Like, it was all like, a piece of metal, or who knows where they got it, and like a little chisel, and they're going ahead at it. You know what I mean? Making these different types of shapes and textures. So
we freak out if a construction worker these days gets hurt on the job and has to do like.
What do you mean, bro? Like, no
back
shots
then
at
they were just dying.
They're just dying, bro. And like, no shots at construction workers, but we all know one guy's doing the work and 3 others are posted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no hate, but like that's funny, what it is,
man.
right? So,
man, I was not expecting to get into architecture with you. That's so interesting.
Yeah, bro. I got gems.
That's hype, man.
Gems,
I feel like we could go deep on that. Like for me, another place was Chicago.
Never been, but I've always wanted to go to Chicago. Like, I was just telling my
girl,
your
mind,
like,
bro.
We gotta go. Like,
you have to. And to me, just like, I'm not always too big on those sightseeing tours and stuff like that. But I did one of those on their big river, their canal there on the boat, bro. This lady blew my mind just talking about this Art Deco, this next level, like
Home
architecture,
Virgil, Home of Kanye,
exactly.
Don C, all these cats
blew my mind. Just looking around, like, man, this is a city where, like, if you have a dream, like, it shows the humans, like, if you have a dream, you can just make whatever you want happen. This all started with just a seed. Someone's like, I want the Sears Tower. I want this. It
started with an idea with some guy who was just like, I want to make the tallest building in the world.
I love it,
You know what I mean? Like, and he went for it. Maybe rules and regulations maybe had to cut him down, but in his mind, he's like, yo, I want the dopest, the biggest, the baddest building in this city. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's how I think about the drop. I'm trying to lead my brand and my vision to be the spot where people go to get their bags done, their shoes done. Like, I want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I need to have like 10 drops with all this crazy architectural design.
Right.
It's, can I build my brand and my vision to be strong enough to be like, yeah, I did it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it from like my city. I did it for my vision. I did it for what I wanted to do with my life. You know what I mean? And really just injecting my own taste and culture into what's going on around me. So.
And someone who doesn't really understand the building of something from the bottom up might view that as like, oh, he sounds so selfish, or like, he's thinking like, oh, me, what my city, what I could do for. But it's actually like the polar opposite. It's like, this is my vision and what I want to give to the world and leave behind.
That's
so
it.
Man, let's actually, before we talk about all that, let's take it back a little bit and talk about what inspired you to start this business.
So the drop itself, man, is just years in the making, like, subliminally. self-consciously.
Right.
Like I said, I grew up in Overbrook, and if everyone knows that neighborhood, it's a rough neighborhood, you know what I mean? So in that time, like, you kind of had to, save up your money, and make sure that you wanted to get the things that you wanted to do, because you see all your friends flexing on the corner with all these sick stuff, and most of them were D-boys for me, you know what I mean? And I wanted to not be like them, but I wanted to have the shoes like them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it really came down to those 1 or 2 pairs I got a year, maybe indoor or outdoor. And like, to be honest, like a lot of them came from, Zellers,
Walmart, yeah.
Giant Tiger. And I loved it. I think my first pair of like actual dope shoes that I really like fucked with were a pair of And1s. And1s, bro. And they were white. And I used to just go home every day after school, after a full day of wearing them, and get my toothbrush out, a little bit of toothpaste, and a bucket of water, sit on my back step, make them clean, make sure they were ready for tomorrow. Because I was not going to school looking like a fool. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to be outside like running around with all the kids in my neighborhood after school on the weekends and have like whack shit when all the guys that I'm looking up to are wearing all the dope stuff, right? So over time, like, those shoes just lasted me longer and longer and longer, instead of getting or only having 2 pairs a year. Those 2 pairs, because I took care of them, turned into 4 pairs a year, 6 pairs a year, 8 pairs a year. Because now I'm building a rotation because I'm taking care of my shoes. You know what I mean? So
one of the big problems is people will get 1 pair of fresh kicks, run them into the ground, and get them all scuffed up, get them all fucked up, and that's like, bro, I guess I gotta buy a new pair.
And that's it. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. If you love something, and this is the thing about like the sneaker industry right now, is that a lot of people are just really into buying and flipping, not buying and wearing. It's like things will be valuable and you appreciate them so much more the more you wear them. In my opinion, because you're building a relationship with your shoes. Yeah. And then sitting in a box, like, you're like, you could tell stories like, yo, remember that one time I was wearing these shoes? This fit, it was so fly. We went out, we hit the club. Like, yo, everyone was like, yo, where'd you get those shoes? Like, as if you have those. Like, you know what I mean? And me being able to understand footwear is like, I've been out so many times. I've worn fly kicks out. And if I messed them up, I was never concerned. I went home, I cleaned them, they were Gucci. You know what I mean? Like, they were straight. Versus a lot of people, they don't have that opportunity. You know what I mean? The amount of people that come into the shop now and are just like, yeah, man, I wore them out one time, went to the club, cranberry juice, Henny on these laces. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, yeah, bro, trust me, I've been there, I got you. Story. I swear to God, bro. Like,
such a common
and
story,
I know a lot of people watching this podcast is probably gonna be like, yeah, that's me. I definitely got 3 or 4 pairs that have definitely been through that situation. So that's what inspired me. You know what I mean? Not having a lot as a kid. Seeing all the kids in my neighborhood wearing like, J's or like a little bit of like designer shoes and things like that, like really just pushed me to want to, be a sneakerhead, collect, wear, you know what I mean? Just really build a rapport with my own shoes for myself. Like, I got a lot of shoes, but it doesn't mean that they don't get worn. They all get worn. They all get taken care of. Like, nobody misses a cleaning day. You know what I mean? Like, all the shoes get taken care of. So just really continuing, like, where I started from. Nowadays, my shoes do get left behind a little bit for everybody else, but that's just business.
I love that, man. I love that story. It's the stories that, I'm not going to lie, like, everyone wants to hear the story of someone starting something out of their own personal passion and struggle. But what was the catalyst moment? What was the moment you decided, all right, you know what? I need to take this idea and actually do something with it.
So it's funny you say that, because when I lived in Toronto for a little bit, about a year, I tried to do a thing out there and make myself be someone within the industry. But I realized in Toronto, I had to jump a lot higher versus in Ottawa, where the community and the culture was a little bit lower. I knew if I implanted myself with something that I wanted to do, or be as someone within my own city, this was the place for me to be. You know what I mean? So I came back. I was working at this clothing store called Common Concept Shop. And I worked my way up, bro. Like, I first came back from Toronto. I was working like at the door as a host, and from there I went into doing graphic design for them. And then from there I went to running their social media. And then from social media I went on to, directing the way the brand looked. The way people perceive the brand. And from there, just working around a lot of high-end things and shoes that, like, they were different to me. Like, now I'm in designer, talk about Rick Owens. I didn't know about Rick Owens. I know nothing about Dior. I didn't know nothing about that stuff, So that made me realize, okay, so all these people are buying these $1,000+ shoes from the store when we're selling them Jason Marks. You know what I mean? It's like, who's the professional that's going to be able to get those scuff marks or take care of those shoes for you? It's the old shoe cobbler guy who doesn't know what these shoes are, or should it be the guy who's in the store selling these things to people and looking at it like, there's a business here.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity here to cater to these people who are buying these shoes. And you know what? Like, that's how I thought in the beginning, but everybody has shoes, so it doesn't even matter at that point. So yeah, working there really taught me the foundations of how to run a business, how to plug it in and make things work for me, twist things to make it work the right way. Ended up breaking my foot in the summer of like July 2018. And that's when I'm like, I got 2-3 months to myself. What am I going to do? Had the concept, had the idea, and just started plugging things in that I knew from when I first started working at Common. You know what I mean? Just the grind. Just the grind, bro.
Bro, I love this story so much,
bro.
Because like I could already see like a Forbes article or something, like how breaking his foot started a shoe cleaning empire. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, it's a funny story. It's actually hilarious that you put it like that. But it's
you know, that's how they're gonna frame it.
That's how they're gonna frame it, and I'm cool with that. You know why? Because it's gonna grab people's attention on like how. One such a simple concept, people are gonna be like, "Oh, he broke his foot and we had one shoe." So
they don't know everything that built up to it. They don't know the toothbrush and all this. But like, man, that fires me up. This whole story gets me so pumped up because you genuinely saw a need. You saw something in
niche market, bro.
This niche market that is like, bro, these people are dropping bare money on kicks, bro. And you know, these people have money, but wouldn't they like to extend the life of their shoe?
Yeah, the lifespan of their shoe,
bro. Because the thing is, like, you buy something of good quality or with a good name behind it, you actually do want it to last a lot longer. I've experienced this myself, where I started buying shoes that are, you know, I used to like, this was just a mentality I had when I was younger. Let me get the cheapest Aldo shoes I could possibly get, or spring shoes, whatever. Let me get the cheapest shit to rock at the
vegan leather for those guys at call it spring and all you know.
Exactly. You get those, and you know, the shoe would last maybe like a couple wears before the sole would come off. The like shit's just falling apart, man. And I'm just like, man, you know what? Why don't I buy like a couple really good dress shoes?
Yep.
They'll set me back a few $100 each time, and then I'll have a rotation of like solid dress shoes,
man. You know what? They'll last you so much longer. And the thing about quality leather, or you investing in your shoes, is that they're just gonna get more comfy for you.
Right. They'll mold to my foot. They're gonna
mold to your foot. Like,
yeah.
And for me, like, when it comes to dress shoes, and we polish dress shoes at this shop. No cap, we do it all.
Do it all.
I love it when it's worn in. It shows the age of the shoe. You know what I mean? And with that age of the shoe tells a story.
Yeah.
That like, every time I've had these or I've worn these, they look a little bit worn in, but I get them buffed up, I get them cleaned up, and I'm happy to wear them again because they look new or they're comfortable, and that's my shoe.
Right.
That's my go-to. You know what I mean? So like I like it when it's like that.
I like that there are people like you in this world, because I will say, I can't toot my horn at all. I'm the opposite. In terms of the shoe maintenance. So even though I bought the nicer shoes, even though I feel like I have enough I'm not I'll be completely upfront, not a sneakerhead over here.
Yeah.
Across this table, I'm not. I like a nice shoe.
Yep.
But I don't like spending a ridiculous amount of money for it.
I hear
you. You know, I like to have my shoes.
Facts.
I like to get a new couple pairs every year. That's it. Very just casual shoe purchaser over here. But I suck at maintaining them.
Yep.
And I bought all the things that I thought I had to get. The leather cleaner, the mink oil, for our shitty Canadian winters, that little vinegar sounding. Yeah. I bought all that, and I still find myself like, man, fuck it.
And that's it. It's just like, honestly, what I find about shoe maintenance, or just maintenance of anything in general, the greatest thing that we have literally in the palm of our hands in every cell phone is the internet.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually want to take care of your shoes, you want your shoes to look good, there's guys out there making those videos. You know what I mean? But where the drop comes in handy is for the guys like you You love your shoe. You don't love shoes. You buy shoes.
Yeah.
You buy good shoes. You want them to last longer.
Yeah.
You just don't want to invest your time in doing that.
Exactly. Boom.
Boom.
There's my solution.
There it is.
And I could tell you for a fact there's so many people out there like me who are just like, man,
of course.
Let me buy a good pair of shoes, but at the same time, I'm not going to bust out all the shit, clean it up, do all this, man. Why don't I just
It's not for everybody.
That's why I love the idea of your service, and I regret I haven't used it yet. I wish I could have had that.
You on 100% discount.
No discounts, discounts over here, bro. I pay full price, bro. But I'm excited to use the service, and I think everyone should be able to go check it out. What's the website?
www.the whatever you want to call it, drop.com.
So the - or - drop.com.
That's
Boom.
it. Boom. And that'll take you there. And you know what? If you're someone who lives in Barrhaven, Canada, Bell's Corners, Billingsbridge area, you could book online.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you could book online. We got a partner with Goodfellows Cleaners, where if you book online, you could bring it to them. Doesn't matter where it is. We'll pick it up for you, service it, and get it right back to that spot for you in about 3 days.
Love it.
Yeah, so don't worry if you're far away and you can't make that trek downtown to our headquarters store, our flagship store.
Yeah,
we got those in the burbs for you guys.
I love it, man.
Yeah, man.
It's like I almost think of it like it should be in the future just as normal as getting your dry cleaning done.
And that's
Let me get my shoe cleaning done.
That's it.
It's just it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, and that's the best thing about our partnership now with Goodfellows, and where our location is now, is that we're partnered with dry cleaners. So my whole concept and design around the drop was, let's not inconvenience anybody. If you're going to get your dry cleaning done, bring your shoes with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no transfer of money between the dry cleaner and ourselves. Maybe they don't understand the dry cleaners, the concept of cleaning the shoe, or what we can do for them. If you book it online, we're going to give you the A1 service no matter what.
Yeah.
Instead of you coming downtown and having a conversation with us, you just know that if you're booking online, you're paying a certain price. That's our premium price, and you're getting the works. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's it. You just bring them with you.
Okay.
Drop it off. Boom. Done deal.
I love the simplicity of it.
Keep
Let's
it simple.
switch gears a little bit and talk about the actual business model of the drop, and how is it exactly that you first started? What are some of the things that you had to do to get this business off the ground?
That's honestly, man, that's a good question, because I don't get to sit back too much and think about how I got to where I'm at right now. So I really just look back at that time where I was working at Common, and they gave me the foundations to really understand how to use an e-commerce platform. So people may or may not know, but the drop is partnered up with Shopify. They have about 4 headquarter locations, not headquarter locations, but 4 offices in all of Canada. They have 2 in Ottawa, 3 in Toronto, 1 in Montreal, and then I think 2 offices in Waterloo. So we service all those offices.
Wow.
Yeah. So super little back end story about Shopify, but I've always been plugged in with Shopify, learning about Shopify, and meeting the right people to help me plug into where I want it to be. So taking that experience with that, I really catered the business at first to be online only. So I partnered up with Common was one of them, Headquarters, Stomping Ground, and Market Cleaners. So these were all places where you could go, once again, not inconveniencing you. Like, you're going to Common, you're going to shop.
Right.
You're going to Headquarters, you're probably getting a coffee, you're getting your hair done. Stomping Ground, you're going to buy clothes, shoes, whatever it may be, and Headquarters, where you were going to do your dry cleaning. So all places where you'd find yourself going all the time, you knew that you could book the service online and drop it off to any of those 4 locations.
Okay, I got a sub question before we move forward too quick, because I know, like you said, this is something you don't put too much thought in, because you've come so far, and we'll get there. But how do you go about making these partnerships? You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone listening to this
it's
right now
tough,
and is
man.
like, I want to start something, but how do I get even
It's
in
tough.
front of these people?
And a lot of the time, when people, are like, hey, how do I manage my relationships? And if anyone's been to any of the panels I've been on, that's been one of my key things that I always mention, is manage your relationships. So a lot of them came from just working at Common, and either they were my bosses who went off to do other things, or friends that I've met through working there, and we've done collaborations with them. I check in on them. I'm like, yo, man, how you doing? How's the store doing? How's everything? I'll drop in. I'll be like, oh, man, you need some cards? What's going on? What's the low? You know what I mean? What's up? What's good with you? Forget the business. Be there for the people.
Love it.
have genuine interest in what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, they were where you were at one point, and now they're there. And now you're looking at them to be like, how can you help me out? Like, how can we work together? So it's outside the business, make sure that they're good. Do you know what I mean? That's how I went about making like my partnerships be good. You know what I mean? Like making sure that people actually knew that I was a caring person, which I am. Like, forget the business aside, I'm more forever grateful for what they've been able to allow me to do to get to where I am. But I like them as people. You know what I mean? Forget that. Put business aside, put politics aside, put everything aside. Like, these guys are my friends, like genuinely my friends. And I talk to them like I would talk to any of my other boys. They just happen to own businesses.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, so just like really managing my relationships and keeping up to date and checking in, and not even like because I wanted to go in there and shop and I had a reason there and I'm like, yo, hook me up with a discount.
People can smell that from a mile
Yeah,
away.
bro,
like
that shit
like,
stinks.
You know, that shit stinks.
That
It's
shit
like
stinks,
it's
bro.
like it's like the person who's like, what can I get from this person?
Yeah,
What can I extract out of this individual? It's like, I don't know. I'm
bro.
not saying I've got a perfect bullshit detector,
Yeah.
but like, you know, you could tell it's like, all right, what do you want? So you
Some
know
people
what I'm
just don't cover it up too well.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think you should. I think you should be straightforward if you're gonna go about it. If you need something from someone or you're looking to do something with someone, like, be honest, be straightforward. Like,
That's how I
don't beat around the bush. You know what I mean? Like, they'll respect you for coming forward, whether it's a yes or a no. They'll be like, yo, they came with me with the straight shit and wasn't like, hey man, like, how you doing? When they know you don't ask them that. You know what I mean? Like, they know you don't ask them that. Like, you're there for a reason. So if you always manage your relationships, when it comes to that time where you do have an idea or a concept or something that you are genuinely interested in, whether you need business advice or anything, if you're genuinely interested in like what those people are doing, it will always be more comfortable for you to go and approach them and be like, yo,
that's just a life tip in general, business or not. Like, just
that's it, man.
If you're gonna have relationships with people, why not try
make the most of it, man.
Maintain them. Like,
make the most
and
of
if
it.
not, then what's that relationship for? Why do you even care about this person?
That's acquaintances,
if you don't?
bro.
Yes, exactly.
Not everyone's your friend, but you can have acquaintances. You know what I mean?
That's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, check in on people.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Keep that honest relationship open.
Yeah.
Check up on them, see how they're doing. I think we need a lot more of that. And in such an ever-connected society, I don't think we've ever been more lonely. I don't think people have ever been more
Deep.
just like
Deep, bro. Deep.
Yeah, man. Like, no, but like, I actually feel that like we're all like, you know, Ottawa, let's take Ottawa. We're all one connection removed from each other, right?
Facts.
Everyone knows everybody, and if they don't, they know a person who knows that person.
Facts.
So, like, my whole point is, like, even though you have this big network of friends, this big community and stuff, what are you missing? Why aren't you creating those genuine relationships with people that are like should last a lifetime if you nurture them, if you water that plant?
That's it. Plant the seed and water it. You know what I mean? And that applies to business as well. So, you know, starting the drop and being able to get where I was planting that seed with my friends. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I love that.
And just like watering that seed. Like when I was working at Common, I had no plans of like starting my own business and running off. You know what I mean? And trying like do what I wanted to do for myself. It was, yo, I like these guys. I like what they're doing. Like, we get along well. Like, we have similar interests. Like, you're different, but we're still on the same line and like with goals and, you know, things like that, missions and visions and all that stuff, just being on the same like line and the same like environment. Yeah, that was easy after I left. You know what I mean? Because they still had respect for me and the things that like we did together and the things that I wanted to do moving forward. Like, they believed in me more than I believed in myself. Damn. Because I didn't even really know. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I have this idea for a business. They're like, damn. Like, you got something. You know what I mean? Like, you got something. Like, if you work on it, you got something for you.
That's what you want.
And I just put in that work.
Absolutely, man.
I just put it in.
Sorry to take you off on that tangent. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, let's get back to where we're at.
So yeah, like, you know, you built these relationships, you get in all these partnerships with different locations, and now you're offering the service not only online but physically.
Yes, and that was the biggest thing. I saw a real big shift in like our online to our in store. Like, the numbers, you can't even compare the numbers. Being in store, having that relationship, being able to talk to someone, explain them the difficulties that you're having with your footwear, with your bags, with anything in terms of just like around that subject, bro. Like online, you don't get that.
You don't.
You
You're
don't.
missing the
Live
personal
support ain't shit. Live support ain't shit. So
no, it's so true.
You really got to be able
Fuck
to.
your chat bot.
Yeah, bro. Like what? Like, and it's funny because like I actually have that on the drop site, but it comes like straight to my phone. So you're actually dealing with me, like personally.
I was completely trolling. To all my e-commerce homies out there, don't hate me, man. I'm gonna have one soon too. No, I get it. I get it.
So it's like they've made it easier now for you to be able to connect with people, but at the same time, nothing's going to be the same as that face-to-face interaction. You know what I mean? Like people want to know that you have the general want and care and understanding of how you're going to deal with their footwear, how you're going to deal with their bags to make sure that they come out the way that they remember them. You know what I mean? Like things go through rough times. People go through rough times. You grow your beard, like, oh man, I had a rough 3 months. I grew my beard. People are like, oh yo man, I haven't seen you like this with a beard. Like, oh, is this new? And then you shave it off and you're like, yeah, I'm me again. You know what I mean? Like that's how I see it with like footwear and stuff. Like your shit got all scuffed up, not what you like. You're like, yeah, let me go take care of it. Let me go make myself feel good. And that's what it is for me. Like footwear is a big confidence thing.
Oh,
like,
it is, man.
I'm telling you right now. Like there's been so many times. Like I got dressed. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking fly. Like shoes in my mind. Like I'm not even at the door to put my shoes on yet. And I get to the door, my shoes are fucked. I'm like, okay, fit change. Full fit change, bro. I'm not even full fit change. Like I'm like up there, like I'm getting ready, I'm feeling good. I'm like, yeah, man, I look good. The shoes are gonna top it off. They're not there.
Come to think of it, yeah, the shoes are the tie.
They're the tie. And for me, like, even though I'm getting ready and I'm putting my clothes on, my first thought is my shoes. Like, what am I gonna wear on my feet? From what I'm wearing on my feet dictates the pants I wear. Am I going to wear baggy pants? If I'm wearing baggy pants, it's because I'm wearing these type of shoes. If I'm wearing fitted pants or jeans, it's because I'm wearing these type of shoes.
But that's one thing people like neglect is like the relationship between the cut of your pant and how it ends and your shoe.
So
that's
important.
I think like as dudes, I think it's almost a responsibility now. Is like, man, you gotta know that relationship and coordinate it with your kicks.
Yeah, man. Like pull it up real quick. Be like, yo, boot cut jean, straight leg jean, fitted jean, baggy pant, whatever it may be. Just like really take just that extra second, because once you do it once or twice, like you already know what's up. You're not doing it again. You know what I mean? You already know, like, okay, like if I'm gonna wear this pants, I've got to wear like this style shoe with it. So yeah, man, just really being able to understand, like trying to cater to people and having that face-to-face interaction and just really seeing their genuine excitement when they get it back. They're like, oh, yo, man, I didn't even think it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
Like exceeding people's expectations.
Yeah.
That's what I live for.
Let's talk about the service delivery side of things.
Let's do it.
How did it start off at the beginning? How are you actually like physically cleaning the shoes for people? And like, tell us that story a little bit.
Yo, Deepak, it gets real deep here. No cap. Like if I'm about to open up on some stuff that like how I started off, and like I'm telling you right now, people would be like, nah, that's not right. Nah, that's not real. Like you're capping. Like you're not telling the truth. And it's just like I just really wanted it for myself that bad. You know what I mean? I didn't really care how I was going to get it or where I was going to get it. I was going to get it.
Right.
It didn't matter to me. So you'd book online, and like at the time, I was mostly just staying like in Canada. I wasn't even really staying in my own ends, So I was in Canada a lot. And if that order came through and it was downtown, like your boy was going downtown. You know what I mean? Like I was going to get those shoes. I'd bring them back to the crib. Like whether that be a warm summer day, I'd do them outside, or at one point, I started doing them in the bathtub, bro. Like, I just would like 10, 15 pairs, bro, line them outside the washroom door and just like nobody come in. The drop is in right now. These are business hours right now we're running. So, bro, I was in there. I was just like set up in the bathroom, bro, like getting this work done for people. Like, I really believed that if I could do it here, I could do it anywhere. You know what I mean? So, I really just started there, man, driving all over the city, like, picking them up, dropping them off, like people DMing, like, yo, man, I got 10 pairs. In my mind, I'm like, all right, 10 pairs. You probably don't want to bring that downtown with you. Yo, send me your Addy. Pull up to the crib.
I'll come pick them up. Yeah.
Bring them back with me. No additional charge. I was going there. Wherever you were, I was picking them up, dropping them back, cleaning them up. I'm talking like 2-3 day turnaround time. Like I wasn't playing games, bro. Like I was like in the grind. Like if I picked them up from you, like that night I was probably working on them.
Yeah.
And I was cool with that. You know what I mean? Like I was cool with that. I'm like, the faster I can get this guy's shoes back to him, he's gonna like, or girl, they'll be like, yo, this is good service. Damn. Like he's coming to pick it up for me. He's doing it in like quick ass time, and he's gonna bring it back to me. And I'm paying the same fee that I would pay if I brought it downtown.
So you started off doing this all alone?
Yeah, bro.
You didn't have anybody helping you?
Like my girl would like drive the whip.
Okay. You had your foot broken. Like
yeah, I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, but still, man.
Yeah, man. Like honestly, like I had one employee that I started with when I first opened it, and he was just graduating high school.
Right.
And I wanted to give him the opportunity to enjoy his summer. And if it was like a crazy amount, like 40 pairs or something like that, I would holler at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like that's outside of my like.
You've gotten that before?
Yeah, bro. Like I'm telling you, like they've been 30, 40 pairs inside the crib, and we're talking about tripping on shoes that are not even yours. And you're like, yo, why are all these shoes in here? Like I'm like ready to like pitch these shoes, like throw them outside, throw them in the garage, and I'm like, yo, those are not mine.
Yeah,
like this is business right here. Like I'm looking at these shoes and I'm like, that's money. You know what I mean? Like you're doing well. Like keep going. Like these 30, 40 pairs, like yeah, I'm uncomfortable with where I'm at. Yeah, it's tight. Yeah, I'm tripping over things, but that's 30, 40 pairs inside my crib.
Damn,
you know what I mean? Like,
people just want to see the glamorous. They just want to see They just want to see you today. Oh, look, he's got all these locations. Oh, these partnerships. Yeah. He's an entrepreneur. But this is what people need to hear. You're in the shit, bro. You were in the shit, in the trenches, bro.
I was grinding, man.
I love this, man.
And it was just like, I knew what I wanted for myself. It wasn't to be a sneaker or shoe like extraordinaire or be like the biggest sneakerhead or the guy who knew how to deal with all sneakers and just clean sneakers. I just knew I wanted to be successful in anything, in whatever it was going to be. Like I knew that when it comes back to that sports thing, like I knew what it took to be where I wanted to be, and like if I wanted it, I'm going to have to work for it. And that's the mentality I put in my head every day. Like right now, like the thing that I repeat to myself every morning I wake up, I'm like, I don't even know where I've heard this from, but just stay rooted. Stay rooted. They'll plant your roots, believe in what you're doing, man, and get it done. Like, don't matter what it is, where it is, how it is. Like, plant your roots, man. Like, dig into what you're doing. Like,
yeah, man.
You just have to. It's important. Like, if you want to see yourself go far, you want to see yourself go places. Like, when everyone's telling you no, you got to be the only one telling yourself yes.
Ooh,
big facts.
That's power facts,
I'm telling you
man.
right now, bro.
That's
like,
so true,
rooted,
man. Because look, whenever you do start something, I find people are actually on the surface, on the face, positive. Like, oh 100%. Yeah, good for you, 100%. Bro. But like then, as soon as things like start to get a little bit tough or this or that, they're like, yeah bro, I told you shouldn't have been wasting your time with all that bullshit, bro. I wanted to tell you, bro. But like, you know, you seemed excited about it. But then like it's those same people who probably reach out to you now, like, yo, bro, man, I can't believe you. Yo, you're killing it. I get these DMs all the time now, bro, with the podcast.
I'm sure you see it exactly. You know,
it's so weird, man.
And it's just like you really just gotta understand that. Maybe they weren't rooting against you.
No. It's just
they
like
may not have been your biggest supporter in the
their
beginning.
own limiting beliefs, their own kind of stories that they've told themselves. But it all comes back to that rooting yourself.
Exactly.
And so, you know, something that I started doing, and not to make this about me at all.
No, go, bro. We're talking.
Like, something like I started doing was like daily affirmations. I used to think it was complete bullshit. I'm like, bro, what's all this affirmation shit, bro? What do you mean? Like, I'm gonna repeat something and it's gonna happen? Like,
bro, I'm telling you right now, one thing that I always tell, like, to myself, to my girl, to my family, to my friends, is just like, if you say it enough, it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll for sure happen. Like,
I believe that, man. Think it into existence.
That's it, bro. Like, preparation and like becoming successful go hand in hand. Like, you gotta prep yourself. You didn't know when that opportunity is gonna come, but you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready all the time.
100%.
Don't sleep. Never sleep.
That's what fascinates me so much about people who are successful and have reached, you know, what society would label as successful, right?
Yep.
They're not lazy. they're never like trying to find this sneakiest way to the top, whatever that may be. You see Tom Brady watching game film.
Always.
You like till 4 a.m. Like, you know, the guy, you don't see Michael Jordan like just chilling.
No,
like,
they're always in the gym. They're always training. They're always watching. They're always trying to make themselves better. You know what I mean? And one thing that was really big for me and what I started a lot of in 2020 was I told myself that I wanted to read more. It's free knowledge, bro. I'm not a big reader. Like, I kind of passed that off and dusted off, but something I really wanted to do with myself in 2020 was read a lot more. So I started getting up a little bit early. Instead of spending that 15 minutes on my phone when I first get up, like what happened overnight when I was sleeping, like who emailed me, who texted me, it was, okay, let's find a book that I want to read. And for the first 45 minutes, you know, wash my face, get up, I'm awake, I'm reading 45 minutes a day, every morning. If it takes me a month to finish a book, it takes me a month. If I finish it in 2 weeks, I finish it in 2 weeks. But I'm waking up every morning, first 45 minutes, the first thing I'm seeing and putting into my head are these words on paper. Something that someone else is giving to you, whether that be for free or you buy the book at whatever cost it may be at. But you got to be able to understand that things that are outside or things that you want to do for yourself, you got to weigh them. You know what I mean? Like, my phone is not that important. Like, you message me at 1 a.m., you could wait. You could wait. Like, I got to deal with me first. And that's the hard thing that being an entrepreneur is, a lot of people forget about putting themselves first. You know what I mean? Doing a little bit of things for themselves. Like, it's so important. It's so important. Like, back in the gym, started reading more, just really catering what I'm doing now to a point where I'm not doing those 34 repairs in the bathroom anymore. You know what I mean? I have that time now where, my work is at work. When I'm home, I'm home. You know what I mean? Like, if I got to do work at home, sure, but it's not for long. It's never for long. I'm never spending the whole day at home working. You know what I mean? Like, if I just work 12 hours, I know I got to put in a little bit of hours to be where I want to be, but in reason. No one's productive.
Not at the expense of your own health, your own leveling up, your own, because
that shit'll make you crash.
Exactly. You got to have the long-term view of the success. It's not like I'm going to go full steam ahead, work 24 hours, 3 days in a row and burn out.
There comes a certain time in the day, a lot of people think they're productive. You're not productive.
No, man.
Like 2, 3 in the morning, trust me, 2, 3 in the morning, you're not productive.
People glorify that bullshit. Like, to me,
get your sleep.
Like, I am so with you on all this, bro. I've implemented these systems in my life as well that are like the reading every day.
Yeah.
I never considered myself to be much of a reader myself, but that was just another story that I was telling myself.
Yourself. Yeah,
I was like,
man.
Wait, what the fuck? I could read. Like, why can't I
like,
read?
I'm not illiterate. Like, you're just not making the time for it.
Exactly. So I cut the Netflix out. No Netflix needed.
Yep.
I stopped drinking for a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I'm going out and doing all the random bullshit. Like, that's 4 hours here. That's the next day. I'm hungover. I'm like this, that kind of thing. Bro, I'm blowing through books. Like, I'm enjoying them.
You're
bro,
enjoying
I'm
it.
telling you, I feel like such a weirdo these days. I'll come home and I'm more excited to like read after a long day of work to unwind than I was to watch TV, bro.
And that's the thing, man. Like, a lot of people got to understand that riches come in different forms. You know what I mean? You could go out and have a good time with your friend and that be your riches. Like, it was a great time. Like, I enjoyed it. Me and my boys, we went out. We had a good time. But then riches comes in a form like, yo, bro, I read this whole book in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
you just downloaded somebody's life experience.
Yeah, you know what I mean? like you've upgraded your software, your brain. You've upgraded that. You've taken yourself to a new level.
Like
and you know what? Like, people who really fuck with you, they'll understand, like, you not going out. Like, my boys, they don't see me go out. Like, I got boys who are club owners. Yo, Tev, come through. I got you on a bottle, bro. We haven't seen you in a long time. Like, come turn up with us and, like, have a good time. And I'm like, that's not where I'm at right now.
And that's not to say there isn't a time and a place to do that. Bro. That's fine. But, when you start to examine what you're doing with your time and reverse engineering where you want to be versus where you are now.
So important, bro.
It's like, okay, well, what doesn't make sense? What in my 24 has to get cut out?
Exactly.
Because we all get the same 24.
We got the same 24. You got like, I tell these people all the time, I'm like, you got 160 hours in a week. What are you going to do with them?
Boom.
What are you going to do with them? You want to sleep? You want to party? You want to read? You want to work? You want to go to the gym? Like, that's up to you.
It is.
But you got to make sure that those 24 hours or those 160 hours are effective and you're feeling fulfilled at the end of the week. You're like, damn, man, I had a good week.
Yeah.
Not like, yo, bro, I wish I did that, man. I didn't get to my laundry. I didn't do that. It's like, well, how come? What'd you do with that day?
Yeah.
What'd you do with that week?
And
You know?
it's a hard realization for
Yeah.
people, but I almost feel like a lot of people cut themselves too much slack. It's like, well,
Yeah.
okay, if I followed you around all day and I just took notes on what you were doing, you spent 5 hours scrolling through the gram.
That's it.
You spent 2 hours just laying in bed feeling sorry for yourself.
Yep.
You binged a season of
A
this
whole
show.
series, yeah.
That's not to say, like, you know, there's not a time and a place. Like, you know, you gotta have some. You gotta chill out sometimes. You gotta go watch a movie. Go see your friend. Go have a drink, bro. I'm not telling people. I don't want to sound like I'm sitting here just telling people how to live their lives.
Not at all.
But if you want something different, you have to do something different.
That's it. If like a lot of people find themselves stuck in certain positions that they're unhappy with,
yeah,
you gotta look at yourself. Yo, literally take 10, 15 minutes. I'm telling you right now, you can see how you crack yourself down. Like, break it down for yourself. What do you do from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep? What is an average day for you? Are you logged in for 9 hours, 8 hours at work? Okay, after those 8 hours, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How much time are you devoting to sleep? How much time are you devoting to activity? How much time are you devoting to friends, family? Like, you really got to be able to understand yourself. And if you don't understand yourself, then you're never going to know where you're going.
Love that, man.
Facts. Like I
think it really does start with self-awareness.
Yeah.
First,
so
having
important.
that self-awareness to realize, okay, well, yo, something's got to change. Then doing that audit. Yo, what's going on? What am I actually doing? Then starting to change those habits. And there's tons of books on that out there that you can read. There's tons of things people can do out there, you know, to start to shift those habits and change those
There's
behaviors.
one book right now that I'm pretty sure it's pretty popular, and I don't know if you've read it yourself, but it's pretty lengthy, and I'm still working my way through it, but it's called Think, Grow, Rich.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
Man, everything you tell yourself in your head, if you're someone who's like self-motivated and you read that book, you're just like solidifying it for you. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, okay, I'm on the right path.
Damn,
you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a bunch of industry professionals who just like giving you knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, not to tell you like, don't doubt yourself is pretty much what you're doing. It's like, yeah, man, you're putting all these hours and yada yada. It may feel like nothing, but you're onto something. You know what I mean? You got to keep going. Like, everything you're doing is for a reason, and you got to be able to give and take, not just put all these hours in and nothing come out of it.
Right.
So really understanding just how you should lock yourself in, and everything that you're doing is for a reason.
It will pay off.
It will pay off.
Yeah. Don't give up too early. I think a lot of people, and like, I can't speak from experience because I don't have that entrepreneurial
you're not there
experience
yet. And that's cool.
But when that does happen, I know I'm going to look back and be happy that I changed these aspects of my life. And whether or not I could trace it back to one particular thing, I think it's all just leveling up your mindset and like thinking more towards growth, as opposed to like, man, like feeling sorry for yourself or like,
that's it, bro.
Busy work. I think another thing that like that I've recently learned about in the last couple months is the difference between being busy and being productive.
That's what I'm telling you, man. Like, people who trying to tell you like, yeah, man, I work the best at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, nah, you're not being productive at those times, bro. Like, unless you're doing business overseas and it forces you to be up at that time, like, okay, sure. But yeah, man, I'm doing all these accounting work. Like, you're counting numbers at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You woke up at 10. You're trying to tell me your eyes are good? Like, nah, I don't like, nah.
Doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. So it's like, yeah, you could be busy, but are you productive? And I think that's a great thing that you just mentioned. And going back to what you said previously about affirmations is just really realizing when you do good things and rewarding yourself for doing good things.
Yeah.
No one's saying like go out and buy yourself a rollie, you know what I mean? Like, or go blow a bag or take yourself eating at this really expensive restaurant. It's just like, give yourself a tap on the back.
Yeah.
Sit back, look what you've done, give yourself a tap on the back.
Well, you know what? There's also a place to reward yourself with items and experiences that if you really do feel like, yo, you hit all those goals.
Yep.
But I don't think a lot of people are really there yet. Just because you answered 5 emails, is that productive or is that busy?
You know what I mean?
Like there's a big difference to me in terms of like actually getting shit done that moves the needle towards your goals and towards like a better version of you. Because let's be honest, we all know that we all have this image of this future version of ourselves that is in some way better than our current
Oh, of course. And I think that it has to be like that. You got to shoot for the stars. You got to think big. You got to go above and beyond anything that you had planned for yourself. You know, like for me, I thought the drop was only going to be something that I saw in one city. In the first year, I was in 3.
Which 3 cities were those?
Toronto, Montreal, and now Ottawa.
Yeah.
And the ones and it's just grown from there too, you know. And like now we're in Waterloo, you know what I mean? Like, I got no business being in Waterloo, but my business has business in Waterloo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
these
are little things that I thought for myself. I didn't think I'd be on all these panels. I didn't think I'd be taking myself here. I didn't think I'd be getting invited there. And it's just like, these are things that I didn't even think were imaginable, but I was dreaming of it. I was planning of it. I was doing my best to make everyone see what I was doing. Something so simple, like an everyday task that everybody could do themselves. Like, bro, if you take dish soap, a bucket of water, and your sponge or like a bristle brush, and you clean your shoes, you can clean shoes. Yeah. Doesn't mean it's going to be good. Doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. Doesn't mean it's going to be the way you want to do. It's something so simple that everybody can do. Yeah. So I had to think about how can I make that big enough for everyone to want to come and, you know, experience.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's not easy.
Nah.
So there's another like subtle thing. It's like we always like to kind of equate the two, but no, there's a big difference. Like simple means it's not complicated. It's not like what you're doing is some crazy next level 50-page deck on like this is what I'm going to do for your shoes. Yeah. Like no, man. No, it's not that. It's very simple, but it's not easy. If it was, everyone would be doing it.
That's it.
And
right?
there would be no business.
And there would be no business. Or I'd just have to work that much harder to make sure that I'm standing out in front of everybody else. And
100%, man.
That's the thing now. You know, a lot of people will be like, yo, Tev, like, check out this sneaker page that's coming up that's doing footwear cleaning. And check out this and check out that person and this person. And, like, I'm getting DMs from all my friends and family or, like, people I work with or people I've done business with. And I'm like, man, that's good for them. I'm so happy to see that someone, like, I feel like my business inspired you to be there. Regardless if it was the drop or not, I'm like, yo, I'm always down for people to grow a community. I know where I'm at with my business. You know what I mean? I'm not concerned about someone who's trying to do something the same as me. You think Starbucks is worried about Bridgehead?
Nah, bro. That's how I feel about the podcast. Like, obviously, I'm not at the same like level, that kind of stuff, but people have been sending me like, yo, this dude started a podcast too, or like, yo, this looks similar to yours, or like, man. Yo, this guy's kind of copying this. I'm like, man. No one will ever be me.
That's it.
No one can be better at being me than me.
You know what I'm saying? And that's it. You know, like a lot of people don't understand, or a lot of people have like the impression of business is business. But like if you are your business and you're passionate and you're genuine, you'll for always be your business, and people will see that. And you're never in
competition, because it's like, yo, they might be doing something similar. It might be like, very, very cool, whatever. But I'm in my lane. I'm doing my thing, and I'm not concerned about that. You know what? I want to support you because it's helping the broader community.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, I'm not out here trying to, you know, hinder anybody or talk down on anybody or not be able to conduct business. Like, yo, if someone was like doing shoe cleaning, I'd be like, yo, how can we like do an event together that way? Like, you're a shoe cleaner, I'm a shoe cleaner. Let's get more people.
How can we
Let's
both
do an
eat?
event. How can we both eat? At the end of the day, like, there's enough shoes in this world to go around. I can't do them all myself. You know what I mean? So it's just like, don't see competition as like something that you should be scared of.
Right.
It should be something that motivates you. It should be something that inspires you.
Right.
It should be something that keeps you focused on what you need to do for you. You know what I mean? Like,
and
don't worry about
it might even make you think, oh shit, like interesting. Like that's
the approach they took on it.
That's how they thought about that. That's interesting. Me personally, I wouldn't have done it that way, but yo, that's kind of cool. I'm happy for that.
Yeah, of course.
But
always,
that's not to say that, like, you know, you're not still trying to build yours and make yours bigger and expand to different cities and stuff. So
every day.
So sorry, like we kind of went off like a huge personal development tangent there, but I think it's so related because mindset and these habits and these things that you do every day result in, you know, it's only been a couple of years since you started this, and look at the growth.
And honestly, like when I first started online, I would consider that like business, like my first year of business, but I don't think until I had my first physical location last summer in June is when we launched it. That's when I was in business. Like, that's when I feel like I was in business. Like, I had a place that people could come visit, understand the business, understand how it works.
Yeah.
All of that, that I feel like that was my first year of business. Like I had growing pains in 2018. I was testing the market. I didn't know if this was something that was gonna work. Like that's why I did it online. No overhead. No.
Yeah.
I'm not forking out $1,500,
Yeah.
$2,000 a month in rent for a business that I don't think is gonna work. Test the waters. Had my partners, had them backing me, their rep. And to this day, now we're here now, right? So.
Yep. So let's talk about now where the drop is at now and what's next.
Big plans, man. Big things in the work for 2020. Right now, the thing that's coming up the fastest, I think, is the customization bar we're opening. It will be in addition to the drop where it's all self-serve. Like, yeah, you can give me your shoe and I could do it for you. But why don't you want to do it yourself? Maybe because you can't do it, that's fine. We're here to help you. But you can come in and get your own creation the own way you want and just ask us. Why not? And it's cheaper for you, right? That's engaging the community.
I kind of, you lost me a little bit. So what exactly am I bringing in? So you're bringing in my shoe,
yeah, you're bringing
my
your
dirty
shoe.
fucked up shoe, and you're doing what? You're teaching me how to clean it myself?
No. So what we're doing is, say you buy a new pair. Let's start with a new pair. Let's not start with dirty pairs, because that's something else.
Oh,
but say you bring in a new pair, or say you brought an old pair, we cleaned it up for you, and now you're ready to start fresh. You can come into the drop now. We have I think I have over 50 plus paints, different colors, neons, whatever.
So actually making it my own.
Yeah,
creation.
you're making it your own, and that's the biggest thing for me with the drop is how can I continuously engage my community? You know what I mean? How can I make it seem like, yeah, I go here and I do my own shoes, or I go here and this guy's great. He tells me everything that I can get to do on my shoes. You know what I mean? Obviously, if something's above your natural ability, then for sure we got artists here to bang that out for you. But to really allow someone to, how many times I look at my shoe and I'm like, damn, I wish that was on it.
Yeah.
Someone else can't see it the way I see it.
I see people doing it now with Kobe, a lot of Kobe commemorations on their Air Forces or different kinds of shoes and stuff. And so that's what, if I had a pair, I'd bring it to you to do that.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You walk in and I just bought these from Foot Locker. Yeah, I just grabbed these from Normal. I want to add a little something to it. Come through, man.
Boom.
Do it yourself. Add a little bit.
And so you quote it there and then
yeah. So there's gonna be a couple options where say you want to come in and do it yourself. There's walk-in. You walk in, you select your paints, you do what you want to do. That's drop-in fee. Okay. Just like going to the gym, you have a drop-in fee. You don't have a membership or anything like that. I want to come and work out. You pay your drop-in fee. If you want someone to customize it to you because you want some crazy mural on your shoe, or you want to do some next level dip dyeing or stuff like that, we have that available for you as well. You can come in, you'll be able to swap your laces, the little anklet, I think it's called, little the lace tips.
Okay.
All things like that will be customizable, full range. You want to glue something on there, by all means. If you want to cut out a different color piece of leather, it's gonna be there. You want snakeskin, we got snakeskin. You know what I mean?
So you could stitch things on and
yeah. So obviously that'll be a little bit more of an intense thing.
Yeah,
but for you, if you wanted to come in and just take a blank Air Force One, and everyone knows that the white colorway, everyone wants to make it their own. Come through.
Yeah. Come
through. We have the paints, we have the colors, we have the brushes, we got everything, and you just come through and you work on that yourself. If you need pointers, then we got an artist there on site to help you out.
So okay, that kind of brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Who do you have on site? How many employees do you have right now, and how does all that work?
It's funny because a lot of people ask me oh bro, you must have one employee or two employees. I'm nah, I got 8. I got 8 people with me every day mostly. You know what I mean? I like to go into work for 2 hours, really, really trust my guys. You know what I mean? I don't want them to feel I'm micromanaging them,
right,
or not giving them the freedom to do things that they want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I let my boys learn from each other. Ooh. We have a group chat. If there's something you don't understand, you put it in the group chat. Someone else is gonna answer you, or I'm gonna answer you in the group chat. So then everybody sees it.
Boom.
There's no reason for you to text me on your ones and be yo, Tev, how am I dealing with this? It's yo, guys, how am I dealing with this in the group chat? Because if you don't know, I guarantee there's 2 or 3 other people who don't know.
Who just haven't asked.
Or haven't
encountered that.
Exactly. But if we're all talking together about it, there's something for you to refer to.
I love it.
You know what I mean? So
man,
I got 8 boys. A lot of them are, like I said, I'm a community guy, so a lot of them are in high school. I like to give the younger guys an opportunity to really understand business, because when I was in high school, I think that I had 1 business class. And
what did that teach you? How to do accounting?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much, bro. My business class, it was the first year that they were running it at my high school, and yeah, like it wasn't there. So it's funny because now a lot of my boys will be like, yeah, man, we're talking about Shopify. And then I let my teacher know, like, yeah, my business is partnered up with Shopify in all the cities. And then their teacher's like, oh, what? Like, their business must be huge and all this stuff. And it's like, I'm exciting the next generation. You know what I mean? Like, whether it be wanting to work at the drop or creating something like the drop or them going off to do their own thing in business, it's like I was part of something that was in my community where I learned so much. And I took so much home with me, and I had excitement about it. I love, that's my biggest thing, is seeing the excitement that comes from the customers, my staff. Like, that's what I live for.
I love it, bro.
Yeah, man.
If you can believe it, we're like over an hour.
Say honest.
Crazy. 100%.
Crazy.
We do have to wrap this up soon,
Let's
but
do it.
Before that, I want to ask a few more questions.
Let's do it.
What are some of the big announcements, big things coming up that you want to talk about for the business, for your personal?
So the drop is part of this festival coming in the on Canada Day, actually, called Ooh Fest.
Okay.
Something similar, like Ooh Fest or Ooh Massive, something like that. I don't know the exact name, but we're a part of that, and we'll be doing some customizations like in the downtown core on Canada Day.
Sweet. So you have like a booth set up?
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna have a booth set up,
dope.
and we're gonna do some crazy customs downtown on Canada Day. We're also really big announcement for us is that we moved into hotels now.
Oh shit, that's huge, bro.
Game changer.
That is a game changer. Now you got all the
changer.
business clientele.
Yeah, it's
you
different.
got all the travelers.
Yeah, we're hitting different.
Damn.
So like
power fucking move, bro.
That's it, man.
Fire me up.
Yeah.
Yo,
that's it, man. And that just comes from, building a strong business model.
That's it.
And being able to apply it into different positions and different places, and being someone, you don't even have to be good with your words. Just be about your business, and that will come off and how you sell it to somebody.
Were you mentioning that you also had an app or something coming out as well?
Yeah, we got something on the way where, we get a lot of clients that come through and they're like, yo, Tev, like, how can I get these? Or yo, Tev, how can I get that? So the drop right now is formulating an app called Sell Your Soul.
Ooh, great name.
So
great
the service that we first started with is called Free My Soul. So now we spun it off like SOLE, and it's called Sell My Soul. So now we're opening up a little bit of a marketplace where individuals can sell and buy shoes through the drop, cleaning service, authenticated, all that through the drop, and that will be in the app store shortly.
So buy and resell. So like I could buy some Yeezys or something and be like, you know what, let me put it up on this.
Let me put it up on the drop. Let me go see the guys at the drop. I want to get them cleaned up and then put on there to like maximize the value of my shoe.
I love it, man. Create a whole new marketplace.
A whole new market.
I love how you're hitting this business from all the different angles.
And that's it, bro. Like,
it's not just a shoe cleaning service.
Nah.
It's a shoe culture. It's a shoe community.
That's it, bro.
It's like a community of like shoe people. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be able to make it just like the drop is for everyone.
The drop is for everyone, man.
For everyone, bro.
I love it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like we're just getting started. We're just scratching
honestly,
the surface.
I didn't even feel like we were here for that long. I'm like, oh, I got more.
I know. And I was actually telling your girl that before that, like I could do this for hours.
Yeah.
I just got to think of my listener.
Yeah.
Who's like, yo, a 3-hour pod? Like, what is this? Like Joe Rogan?
This guy's bugging.
Like,
this episode, this guy's bugging. He went in, right?
Bro, man. But I feel like I'll definitely have you back on.
Yeah,
we'll chat a lot more. But before I let you go, I got a lightning round, so I do 5 questions at the end of each podcast. Okay. Basically, quick answer, but like honestly, it's not that deep. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna make it quick.
You don't have to make it too quick, but So,
shoot.
What's your favorite shoe?
Oh, a lot of people are gonna make it funny, but I like the classics. I'm like an all-star guy. I like my low chucks.
Boom, low chucks.
Like my low chucks.
Man, it's a funny story about chucks, bro. When I was young, like when I was way younger, like 13, 14, there's nothing I wanted more in the world than a pair of Chuck Taylors, bro. That's all I wanted. The black ones, the high top. I wanted the high top personally. Yep. And I never got them, bro. That's it,
bro. And now everyone does a spin off of it. So you know what I mean? Like like the lows, the highs, whatever you may be, the chucks are one of my favorites for sure.
What's a one pair of shoes you wouldn't be caught dead rocking? Ever. It's just not your style. You would never wear it.
Damn.
Something's going wrong if I see you in these kicks. Whether it be some Crocs or some Toms or some
worker boots, bro.
Worker boots.
You're never catching me in steel toes.
No steel toes.
You never catch me in steel toes. I'm not a manual labor guy like that. You know what I mean? No steel toes.
I love it, man. What's your favorite late night food joint in Ottawa?
Late night food joint. Shit, that's a good question. That's a really good question. A lot of the times, I feel like I catch myself at, obviously, people are going to find this whack, but King Eddie, Joey's, things that are open late. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard. Like,
It's not whack, man. Like Ottawa, we don't have like
there's not that many
average-
options. Like, yeah, I could go to
100%,
like a lot of these places where like they're a little bit smaller, but you know how business is. Like, yeah, they say they're open till 2, but if you pull up at 12 and it wasn't busy that night, like they closed. Like
100%.
they're closed. So I find myself going to like the more popular spots and just knowing that they'll be open for those late night bites if I'm really into it. If not, like I'm a guy that like I like my food at home.
So what would your favorite be though of those?
The favorite out of the two of those?
Like something that just hits. Like you're late night, you trying to order some shit or you're out or something. Like
that's a good question.
One
Bro.
place that just like. I mean, I'm just assuming that you would have food late at night, but maybe
that's what
not.
I'm saying, bro. I'm like a Ritz Crackers guy, bro. Ritz Crackers with cheese, bro.
Fair enough, bro. That's a fair answer if that's what you want to say.
Yeah, no, like honestly, if I was gonna go out and get something, I'd probably hit Joey's and like do like their late night menu, grab like
fair enough,
chili chicken or something like that.
Love it. What's one thing people be surprised to learn about you?
Surprised to learn about me.
Yeah, like they have this image of you, but then they get you sitting down, or maybe the next podcaster is like, "Yo, I didn't know this guy architecture or this or that." Like
architecture would be one thing, and then another thing, like I got 3 sisters.
Okay,
that levels me out. That levels me out for real.
That's
real.
awesome,
like,
man. Keeps you anchored.
Keeps me like they check me when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? And like I got an older sister who's pregnant and she's having a baby now, and she's a girl too. So now we got more girls in the family.
Love it.
And then I got a 16-year-old sister and a 15-year-old sister. So like being a positive role model for them, and making sure I pave the way for them and showing them that they could do anything that they put their mind to and believe in. Like those are the ones that's like a secret.
That's
awesome. If you see me always smiling, you always see me happy, it's because my girls keep me right.
Oh man, that's beautiful, bro. I'm so glad to hear that. Last and kind of final question.
Let's do it.
If it wasn't the drop, if it wasn't like this business, what niche have you always kind of been interested in, but on the back burner? Like something else that kind of has always been like it's an itch. Burner. It's something like I've always been interested in, but I'm doing this right now.
That's a good one.
That's whether it be like one. I don't know. For me, like it could be all kinds of things, jerseys or this or that, like something that you've always been kind of interested in, but it's like I don't have time for all that right now.
That's a good question. Like what comes with the culture and being into sneakers is music, right? I've really been into music. Like I would love to just, instead of just being a part of the experience, be delivering the experience. So be a DJ, I think is like
be a DJ, huh?
So I got a turntable set up from one of my boys at the shop in my crib, and I'm just like, I gotta plug in, but it's
sitting there.
It's sitting there. It's teasing me every time I sit at my home desk or in that area. Like I look at it and I'm just like, damn, like when am I gonna like actually get into it? Like I'm paying for Serato every month.
You have that.
I ain't using it. It's costing me. I'm not using it, but yeah, that's something I think I like want to like dive into, and just even if it's just for myself or my family or my friends, like something I really want to like get into, mixing music. I think.
Yo, we never know, man. It could, with all the things that kind of come tertiary with your business.
Yeah,
you never know. Have another arm of it, like you
never know.
The drop.
I'm playing my own parties. I stopped networking. I put the headphones on. I'm just gonna just throw my own events and shit.
Hey man, why not?
Yeah.
Look, bro, this conversation's been amazing. One final kind of thought I wanted to close this out because I know I'm gonna regret not bringing this up on the podcast while I got you here. Is what's kind of like the importance of this city of Ottawa to you and your story? What's the significance of this city in particular for your growth and your journey?
Cherish it. Cherish all the things and like the cracks in the road, the hooks around the corner. Cherish your city because there's nothing like home.
Boom.
You know what I mean? Like be able to find things that you want to do in your own city. Like you don't have to go abroad. Maybe you feel like you need to, but I'm telling you right now, if you have an idea, you can make it work for you. You make people come to you. So cherish it.
Find beauty in your own city.
Find the beauty, man. Cherish it. Cherish it. Because you know what? Like, you can make home anywhere, but you'll never be able to, like, copy what Ottawa has done for you.
100%,
You know what I mean? Yeah, so
I could think of
cherish
no better way to end this podcast,
Cherish
bro.
it, man.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's not
Of
that
course.
deep. If anyone wants to check out the drop, they can go to www.the-drop.com.
That's it.
And shout out your socials so people can find you on there too.
My personal IG, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff is Tevin Haye. And then, go from there. Put that in there, throw it in there, and we'll go from there. You know what? Maybe we'll throw up a It's Not That Deep promo code for the drop.
Maybe we will, man.
I'm down, bro.
Let's make it happen
for all your listeners, right?
A whole other partnership. You just watched it happen, man.
Let's get it.
I love it, man.
I'm down. All right,
Thank you so much for coming on, bro.
It.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the It's Not That Deep podcast. For access to exclusive articles and content, please head over to www.itsnotthatdeeppodcast.com. And to help me grow this thing to the next level, here's what I need you to do. Go ahead and subscribe to my podcast on all platforms, wherever you listen, and share with all your friends and family on all social media. And please leave a rating as well. Remember, it's not that deep.